Hi, I'm Karina, and today I'm going to be talking about basics information about hair toppers. We'll cover everything from cap construction, choosing the right length, and hair types in this short video. The very first thing to consider when purchasing a hair topper is the base type and cap construction. Now there are several different base types available as well as cap constructions, so let's just cover briefly what I think is the most important to consider when choosing a topper for you. So let's start off with what I think is the most important thing to consider when purchasing a topper, and that is going to be the base size. Now this is a 7 by 8 inch base. So it gives you an idea of roughly how much coverage you're going to afford with this topper. Now, most people think, okay, I just have some scars on the top of my head. I just want to add a little bit of hair right there at the crown to cover it. You might think that's the best route to go, but I would encourage you to consider a larger base size topper. Sometimes those smaller toppers with just a strip of hair make blending a lot more difficult. Let me show you real quick an example. Now, this topper right here is actually not that small. It's a 5.5 by 5.5 inch base, but let me show you what this looks like on my hair, just so that you can see the base sizes and how important that is when choosing your topper. So the color is a great match for me. It looks great with my bio hair. The length is correct for me. It does have an extended lace front, which you would cut back, so don't pay attention to that front right now, but let's look at the back coverage. So although it's not bad, you can still kind of see my bio hair versus the topper hair. So when I'm choosing a topper, because my hair is thin all around and I do have scars throughout my head, I find that a 7.5 or a 7 by 8 inch base size and up is best for me. If you're just trying to add volume to the top of your head, then a 5.5 by 5.5 inch base or even smaller would be totally fine for you. But if you're trying to cover up some hair loss, then let's talk about going with a bigger size base. So now that we've covered base sizing, let's talk about base cap construction. Now there are a few different popular options and I will just cover the basics on those. The first would be a monotop topper. That is going to be something like the upgraded Courtney topper right here from UniWigs. The monotop has this area right here where you can move the part around in the topper. The rest of it is going to be wefting, which is hair sewn into this fabric here. The monotop does have a little bit of a see-through. It's a little bit see-through. You can see as I move my finger back and forth. It's a little bit see-through, but it does have that closed front right there. Now I find that a monotop topper is one of the easier to blend because it is very durable, but it is slightly see-through. Now you can add a little bit of foundation powder to that topper to help make it look even more realistic and hide those knots. You will be able to see some of the knots, but it's not too bad. Monotop tends to be one of the most popular options for beginners because it is nice and thin and you can still see through. The next type of cap construction that I want to show you is a lace top. Now this is similar to the monotop in that it is see-through. However, the lace on this lace front topper is a lot more transparent and lightweight than the monotop. Now lace is a lot more delicate, and as you can see versus the monotop here, we have this lace that extends all the way to the front of the topper. Now this is a little bit more delicate. It can fray with time. It is not closed, so you're going to want to, as you're blending this topper, consider where you're going to be wearing it, all the way to the front of your hairline or slightly behind your hairline. The monotop and the lace top can both be worn behind your hairline. However, a monotop should not be worn at the front of your hairline because it'll be a little bit more obvious. Whereas this lace top here can be worn all the way at the front of your hairline. The lace is designed to where it can be glued down also onto your forehead, or if you have a little bit of a receding hairline, onto your actual scalp. So the lace might be a really good option for you if you're looking to wear your hair or your topper all the way in front of your hairline. Let's take a look at her if I position her slightly behind my hairline. Now this third type of cap construction is going to be a silk top. Now this is going to be your most realistic looking scalp. This type of scalp is not transparent at all. You will not see any of your scalp underneath this topper, but it has an ultra realistic looking scalp. This is a larger 9x9 inch base, so again, it's going to afford a little bit more coverage. Let's put this on. Now, obviously this is not the right color, but just to give you an idea of what this looks like on, I will go ahead and put her on for you. Now these silk tops can be all the way worn in front of your hairline, so you don't have to worry about the blend, especially if you plan to cut some bangs into this topper. The blend on these can be really easy, and this can give you a very realistic looking, not only scalp, but overall look. Now these can also be worn slightly behind your hairline, if your bio hair matches, of course, and you can blend it. You might want to consider using something like some hair building fibers right at that transition to hide the transition between your bio hair and the topper hair. A topper like the Savannah that I just showed you is really great if you have a little bit more progressive hair loss, but you're not quite ready for a full wig, or you just want the flexibility to be able to pull your hair up off of the back of your neck or not have the heat from a full wig. This 9x9 base gives you quite a bit of coverage. You have that ultra realistic looking scalp. And again, if you cut some bangs into this, blending this topper is really a breeze. The last thing to consider when thinking about a silk top topper is the transition right here. Because this is a thicker overall base, now it does give you that really realistic looking scalp, but blending this topper might take a little bit more time and effort if you're not cutting bangs into the topper. So we've talked about base size and cap construction. Let's now talk about length. My bio hair is about 15 inches long. I'm going to want to choose a topper that is 1 to 2 inches longer than my bio hair. This topper right here is the upgraded Courtney. She is 16 inches long, and you can see why I'm going to want to choose a topper that's a little bit slightly longer than my bio hair, because as you're blending it, you really cannot see my bio hair through the topper. It kind of just blends, it melts right into the topper. You cannot tell where my hair ends and the topper hair begins. This makes blending your topper so much easier. If you're getting a topper that is 4 or 5 inches longer than your bio hair is going to kind of stick out in weird, not stick out, but you're gonna kind of be able to see the shorter layers. Now, if you're okay with that, then that's totally fine. It's just going to make blending a little bit more work. But if you want long hair and that's what you're willing to work with, no problem at all. It's personal preference. However, I'm going to show you why you don't want a topper that is shorter than your bio hair. That will stick out like an eyesore. This topper right here is called Breeze. It is that lovely lace front topper that you can wear all the way to the front of your hairline. It's a lovely topper, great color. However, can you tell why you want a topper that is not shorter than your bio hair? You can obviously see where my bio hair ends and where the topper hair begins. So when you're considering length, make sure to go 1 to 2 inches longer than your bio hair ideally, or be willing to trim your bio hair to match the topper. Lastly, consider the type of hair you want to purchase and the color you want to purchase. So there are both synthetics and human hair. I'm a fan of Remy human hair. That's just my personal preference. Some people prefer synthetics. They find them more durable and easy to style. I'm used to my own human hair, so I find styling human hair a little bit easier. I like the look and the feel of my human hair toppers. All of that is personal preference. There are wonderful options in both categories, so that's completely up to you. But when choosing a color, do make sure that you're considering your bio hair. When choosing a color, try to match especially the root of your hair. This is important because this is where most of the blending is going to occur. When you're putting on your topper, you can tell that my hair is highlighted, but it has quite a bit of growth right now. So when I'm choosing a topper, I'm going to want to choose a topper that the root color matches my bio hair, so that when I'm blending it, the process is a lot easier and a lot more natural looking. Now you do have some freedom and flexibility when choosing a hair color. It doesn't have to match perfectly. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions with hair color matching, is that it has to be a perfect match. Do consider that a lot of people, the underside of their hair tends to be darker because they get highlights only on the top, or they might have multiple different colors going on in their hair. So it's okay if there's a little bit of variation between your bio hair and the topper hair. But the important part is that root is going to be a solid match. Let me show you another color that I can pull off because the roots are close enough. So this color that I did just show you was light permafrost. I want you to note that because I think it's helpful when choosing colors for yourself. I'm also going to show you a dusty ash. So this is a little bit darker all around than the light permafrost. So light permafrost right here, dusty ash. A little bit darker, you can tell. Again, I can pull off this color because the roots are not too far off from my bio hair, and it does have some highlighting which matches the highlighting in my bio hair. And then I'll show you one more. So this is actually the topper that I wear every day. This is the upgraded Courtney topper in Vanilla Butter Blonde. This is my everyday topper. So you can tell it's a big difference between, you know, where I was here with this color over here and this one right here. This is a lot blonder, but again, because I have those highlights and the root color is not too far off from my bio hair, the blend works really well. But just be sure to pay attention to what that root color is, the colors throughout the topper, like low lighting, because that will make a big difference in the blend. I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, please be sure to comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can with an answer. I know that there is so much to learn about toppers, and this is just kind of scratching the surface, but hopefully it gives you a good introductory baseline information that you can build upon as you continue to do your research and figure out what might be right for you.